rested. Um, it's 8:29. I was resting for a while. 11:11. Um, Bryan Kohberger and Bethany Funk. Now, there's multiple faces of Bryan Kohberger, you guys. I'm gonna say this is for entertainment purposes, okay? Because this is entertainment purposes. The entertainment of this case. When I first did this case, I thought this was something um made up. Like they were playing with us out here, okay? But actually there was four victims, okay? And there was six roommates, okay? Six is significant. Four roommates that have crossed over. And I did a read on each one of these roommates, okay? But what's so interesting is Bryan, like I think like a week ago, this video is for entertainment purposes, but use discernment. You guys hit that like button and subscribe to your girl's channel, okay? Because I'm dropping nothing but gems and honesty on this channel. I'm sorry for laughing, but I just can't. So, anyways, like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, remember when I said that Bryan came out in my um I was told to pull. This is weird. Okay, these cards that I was told to pull for Bryan was what's that game where the wild card comes out? Okay, Uno, and it was like skip reverse, and then it was and then um anyways, I was doing the read on Bryan in the Web of Lives, right? But what's so interesting is since day one of this case, this is the most bizarre case that I've ever seen, even on TV. Okay, because um, of who these children were and who these children were associated with. I'm talking about the children that have crossed. I mean, children, the the victims' parents. Okay, even bizarre activity with the victims' parents. Okay, um, Xana's mother was on drugs. This is like a story out of a novel. Okay, Bethany Funk from day one, um, her and Dylan Morrison were there. Okay, and they survived this, and everybody else was gone. So there's six people, and Dylan looked the killer in the eye. Okay, so my question is, um, now let's talk about this. In the beginning of this case, nothing was mentioned of Bethany. It was like Bethany was a ghost. Okay, a ghost. Like she never exists. Okay, like she just vanished into thin air, and nobody was zoning in on Bethany. Okay, but now this court hearing is coming up, and I told you it was going to happen over the summer. Then I tell y'all this was going to happen. Go back to my videos, and I told you it wasn't going to be held in the area that they live in, which is very odd. The name of the area is Idaho, Moscow, Idaho. Okay, very odd name of even a town. Okay, but anyways, so I said that this trial wouldn't even it wasn't going to be held. I said when it was going to be held, which was in the summer, which is going to be held in the summer. Okay, but Bryan is a wild card here. Now, a couple weeks ago, Bryan said he wanted to go to a female prison. Why is because the crime he did was horrific, and he was going to be in. I guess they put him in isolation. I don't know, or maybe they were going to put him in regular population. So now he's saying that he's a female. Guys, I can't make this shut up if I even try, okay? So he asked to be moved to a women's prison, okay? Um, which I thought that was interesting. Why would he ask to be moved to a women's prison and he was born a male, okay? And he's not transgender, okay? Now we know he was obese, okay? We know he was an addict. We know he studied law, okay? Psychology. So he knows how to manipulate, okay? Now it's a web, you guys. It's like a spider web, right? Spider web of lies here. Now Bethany Funk has been quiet from day one. So whoever is and I did pull Bethany Funk's energy. Um so whoever her family is, um they played the cards right. Let's put it like that. If we were playing the game of Uno or the game of chess, okay? But Bryan's gonna say checkmate at the end of this, okay? The reason why I say he's gonna say checkmate is because Bryan is the wild card, okay? Um, but he has to go to a woman's prison, and he's a male, so I'm confused here, okay? What's going on here? Um, and I'm surprised they wouldn't have him in isolation because he's a high profile. This is a high profile case. This was horrific. Okay. Um, this is like the House of Horror. Okay. Um, and four people were are gone and two surviving victims. Okay, so Bethany Funk and Dylan Morrison. Okay, let's go to them. This video is for entertainment purposes, but use discernment, like I always say. Okay, Dylan Morrison, I zoned in on right away. Okay, a lot of people did, and I did too. And the reason why we did is because of what she was saying. Okay, she was making up lies after lies after lies after lies. I mean, you can't even keep up with the goddamn lies the girl was making, right? But I said she was born a boy. Okay, I was right about that, you guys. I'm not switching up. I don't never switch lanes. Okay, never switch lanes. And what I mean by that is I'm going to stay on the same truth. Okay. Now I was wondering if Bethany Funk was a boy too, because you look at her face, it looked like she had some kind of work done. Okay. As young as she is, she kind of looks older than her age. Don't she look kind of older than her age, Bethany Funk? You guys look at her in the face. She looks kind of odd. Okay. Um, so I'm starting to wonder if she's a boy. Okay, I don't know, but I know Dylan definitely is. Okay. Um, I I I dived into Bethany, but not really dived into Bethany. But these people have people that are in their life. Um, I don't know if Bethany has people that are lawyers in her family, politicians. I don't know, but we surely know Dylan does. Okay, her mom worked for the university. Okay, and so my thing is, we got two wild cards here. Well, we got Bryan is the wild card, but Bethany Funk, it's going to be interesting her testimony, okay? Because she's going to have to talk, okay? They're going to make her talk, okay? Because of the pressure of this is a high case, okay? People want to know, not just people, these families need closure, okay? This was horrific, okay? I told you guys, I seen what I seen in the metaphysical and the spiritual realm, and this was very horrific, okay? Um, but Bethany Funk, we don't know much about her. She's like a ghost, like she never exists. And they did that on purpose as soon as after this crime happened, okay? You couldn't find no information on Bethany, okay? Even Dylan Morrison took a while for people to dig in to find about her Mormon background. But it's interesting because Dylan and Bethany knew each other before they even became members of the sorority. And how does a male become is able to get into a sorority? I don't understand that. And but she identified as a female, so maybe that's how she got into the sorority. And her mother worked for the school. So Bethany Funk is very interesting. So let me Google Bethany Funk because I don't know if there's any information. I haven't watched a lot on this case. But I'm looking at Bethany Funk's face. I don't know, something about her face. So let's look up Bethany Funk. You guys, I'm not using no cards here. Or shells. So it says the New York Post, and this is 2 hours ago. Surviving Idaho roommate Bethany Funk fights having testified at Bryan Kohberger's case. Why? It's because she knows. Okay, she knows something. Okay. Um, and I'm looking at an image of her. She's surviving roommate with her and Dylan, and it took all them hours. So does she want to go down with Dylan because she knows what Dylan did? Was she a part of? You guys, I'm telling you, they're the only two surviving victims. So did they commit this crime? Bethany Funk and Dylan Mortensen. I mean, Bethany Funk, 21, has asked the judge to reject a request forcing her to testify for the Idaho University murder suspect Bryan Culver. Okay, because she don't want to be what's that word I'm hearing? She's trying to dissociate herself from this crime, but you can't. You were there, okay? So you know something about this crime. Now, did she actually help Dylan with this? I mean, you guys, I wouldn't be surprised, okay, if all these people were involved, okay? Um, and they answered Bryan's ad, okay? Now, Bethany Funk 21 filed a motion to dismiss a subpoena. Colberg, Bryan Kohberger's attorney filed to the district court in Washoe County, Nevada. Okay. So she's asking that Bethany Funk says she should not have to testify as the June primary hearing for Bryan Kohberger. You guys go back to my videos. I said that this will take place in June in the summer, and it's taking place in the summer. I said all this. Okay. Now, I think I feel like Bryan is going to represent himself. Okay. Now they escaped this deadly attack, but did they really escape this deadly attack? Were they a part of this deadly attack? Okay. Now what's so interesting is if you look at, let me show you a picture of Bethany Funk. Okay, this is her. I don't know. There's something I'm picking up here. This is interesting. And then this is Dylan, which I already picked up the masculine energy, but they waited 8 hours. So and Dylan definitely had rage. Okay. Now are they gonna say this is a femicide? I don't know. And Bryan, there's more to Bryan than meets the eye. Okay. But Bryan is the wild card. Bryan's gonna pull something out, like um the magician. Okay. But I've been saying from day one, Dylan, what Dylan was. Bethany, I just her energy. So, because I don't want to stay in this energy long. Now is I don't know. Was Bethany Funk Mormon too? Okay, was she Mormon? I don't know. Dylan was Mormon, definitely Mormon. Okay. Um, but did she have a Mormon upbringing? I don't think so. I think there's more. Um, Dylan, I was definitely getting the masculine being brought in. So she was actually she was a masculine. She still is a masculine, just as a split female. So she, um, but Bethany is not talking. She don't want to talk because when Bethany talks, we're gonna know the real truth here. Okay, and she don't want to be um, charged either. But she will have some kind of charges because you're the surviving victims here. Okay, she knows something and she don't want to have to say it because when she takes that oath, she's going to say what happened. Okay, her testimony. Okay, um, but Bryan has many faces. It's bizarre. Some pictures look like he's like AI. That's why I was like asking, is this a joke at first? But it's not a joke. Okay, so this would be interesting. So we know Bethany don't want to talk because she's going to um, have to take on some responsibility of what happened that night. Okay, even though she's saying she don't know what happened. So this is going to be interesting. And if Bryan Culver, I see him cross-examine her like he's a damn lawyer. You guys, he's a wild card. Okay, he's a wild card. He's gonna pull something out of his sleeve at the last minute. It's going to shock everybody. Okay, shock everybody. So we'll see what happens here. But Bethany Funk fights not to testify, and she's going to have to testify. If you're a surviving victim of a crime and four of your other roommates have died, when you going to testify? Unless you know something and you don't want it to come out. Okay, so this is going to be very interesting. Um, so I just thought I would bring it to your attention. But all this whole thing is going to be interesting. But it was interesting when Bryan asked to be moved to a female prison. So now is he identifying himself as transgender? So you guys, this is getting crazy. Okay, crazy. So we'll see how this goes, this case goes. So comment below your thoughts. And we'll deep dive more into this when it gets closer to the court date. I have the videos on this. You can go back to look at my videos. Um, and I said that it would be held in June, but I did not know how far away it was going to be held. Um, because they couldn't obviously have it where the crime happened, because it's going to be people that are going to want, um, are already, um, have their mind made up, okay, as far as like the guilty, 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 okay, not even hearing the whole story, because you're proven, you're guilty in a court of law until proven innocent, okay, so they have to prove they're innocent. Everybody has to prove they're innocent. The two surviving victims, which would be Bethany Funk and Dylan Mortensen. Okay, and also Bryan is going to have to prove that he had nothing to do with this crime. So this will be very interesting how they play this out. All right, all right. This is Jennifer Phillips. You guys, love and light will be for